Hello, I'm Ryan Felsman, Senior Economist at CommSec, with a look at the week ahead here in Australia and overseas as far as upcoming economic and financial market events are concerned. In the coming week, there are a couple of indicators to be released that are key inputs into the September quarter economic growth or GDP calculations, including business investment and construction work activity. The week kicks off on Tuesday in Australia when ANZ and Roy Morgan jointly released the weekly Consumer Confidence Index. Sentiment hit 5-week lows last week after the release of disappointing October jobs data, which saw the unemployment rate lift to 5.2%. And Commonwealth Bank Group economists are scheduled to release weekly credit and debit card spending data. Also on Tuesday, IHS Markit issues preliminary November Purchasing Managers Index for the manufacturing and services sector. Economic activity is expanding after prolonged lockdowns in the southeast, but cost pressures are persisting with input price inflation worsening due to pandemic supply chain disruptions. And to round out a busy Tuesday, the Reserve Bank Head of Domestic Markets, Marion Kohler, delivers a speech on securities markets through the pandemic to the Australian Securitisation Forum virtual conference. And we also hear from Andrea Brichetto, RBA Deputy Head of Domestic Markets. She participates in a panel discussion at the same conference with a focus on the transition to risk-free rates, the future of BBSW. We get into the data on Wednesday when the Bureau of Statistics releases the construction work done publication for the September quarter. The report is important as the data on residential work is a key input into economic growth calculations. In the quarter, Commonwealth Bank Group economists expect that construction work done fell by at least 6% during the September quarter on the back of lockdowns and government restrictions to building sites. Also on Wednesday, Reserve Bank Assistant Governor for Financial System, Michelle Bullock, participates in two panel discussions, Central Bank Digital Currencies and the Future of Payments in Australia, at the Women in Payments online event. On Thursday, the second of the economic data pieces that are of most interest for the September quarter are issued. Business investment or private new capital expenditure and expected expenditure released. The report includes data on business spending on buildings and equipment and forecasts for spending over the next year. Commonwealth Bank Group economists expect that investment decreased by around 5% in the quarter. Also on Thursday, the Bureau of Statistics publishes weekly payroll, jobs and wage data for the fortnight ended October 30. And on Friday, Commonwealth Bank Group economists expect that retail spending rose by 3.5% in October. In the coming week overseas, there's a logjam of US data to be released on Wednesday ahead of Thursday's Thanksgiving Day holiday. And the US Federal Reserve's November the 2nd to 3rd meeting minutes feature on the same day. The week kicks off on Monday in China when 1- and 5-year loan prime rates are announced. On Monday in the United States, the Chicago Federal Reserve National Activity Index is issued with data on existing home sales for October. Sales of previously owned homes could ease by 1.4% in October after soaring by 7% in September, the most in a year, as lower mortgage rates boosted housing demand. On Tuesday, across the developed world, there'll be a release of the flash or preliminary November readings on activity in the manufacturing and services sector derived from services of purchasing managers. On Tuesday in the US, the weekly Johnson Red Book chain store sales figures are released with the Richmond Federal Reserve Manufacturing Index for November. And on Wednesday, the minutes of the last Federal Reserve meeting are issued. At the November 2nd or 3rd get-together, the FOMC left its target rate for the federal funds rate unchanged at 0 to 0.25%. But the Fed said that it will begin reducing or tapering the pace of its monthly bond purchases starting later in November. The process will see reductions of $15 billion each month from the current $120 billion a month of purchases. The weekly data readings on unemployment benefits or claims, otherwise known as initial jobless claims, and mortgage applications from the Mortgage Bankers Association are issued on Wednesday ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. But headlining the US data releases is economic growth or GDP. The second estimate of activity for the September quarter is issued with growth tipped to be up 2.2% on a year ago. Other indicators to watch include durable goods orders, which could fall by 0.2% in October, personal income and spending, new home sales, wholesale inventories, consumer confidence, and the advanced good trade balance could come in with a deficit of around $93.5 billion in October. Personal income is tipped by economists to edge higher by 0.2% in October, with spending up by 0.8%, but most interest will be in the Fed's preferred inflation measure, the personal consumption expenditure or PCE core deflator, which is expected to increase by 0.4% in October to an annual rate of 4%. The core price index, which excludes food and energy, rose 3.6% from a year ago in September, the strongest annual pace since 1991. And as I mentioned, on Thursday, US financial markets are closed in observance of the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for your time.